Hello students, our next topic is preparation of alkenes. In every chapter, after introduction and after isomerism and some other things, always there is the preparation of that particular hydrocarbon. We studied in alkenes so many preparations of methods of alkenes. Now here in alkenes, first one is what is the industrial source of these alkenes, and that is nothing but petroleum products. From these petroleum products we can get methane, ethene, propene, butane. Okay, and whatever we get all these four alkenes, those are by cracking process of the natural gas and the crude oil. Okay, so from the natural gas, crude oil means the petroleum products, all these are the byproducts, all these are the byproducts which we use as alkenes. Okay, all these are alkenes. Then next are the laboratory methods of preparation of alkenes. First of all, just like alkane, we are going to see addition reactions. In alkanes we know the addition reaction, where from alkene we get alkane, similarly from alkyne we get alkane. That is the addition reaction, and that addition is nothing but addition of hydrogens. Similarly here we are going to do partial reduction of alkyne, that is triple bond of alkyne, which is converted into C double bond C of alkene, means alkyne is converted into alkene. And when this is the reduction, means what? That is addition of H and H, addition of H2 molecule, means this is nothing but hydrogenation. If you remember, in alkane we use nickel, platinum and palladium for hydrogenation. Okay, similarly here also there are different catalysts. Okay, and these different catalysts will give us two different products, those are cis and trans. This is the new concept of this chapter, alkene, cis and trans, which I explained yesterday. That is, cis and trans is nothing but the geometrical isomers of alkenes. Okay, so for this cis, if you want the cis alkene, then you have to use Lindlar's catalyst. The name of the catalyst is Lindlar's. What is that Lindlar's? Lindlar's is nothing but palladized charcoal in presence of quinoline. Please remember, palladized, this is the palladium. Okay, so this is palladized charcoal, which is a very sensitive catalyst. In presence of quinoline, we are going to get cis alkene. See now, this is alkyne, it is going to partially reduce, H2 is going to added over here, catalyst is used the Lindlar's catalyst, and this triple bond is converted into double bond. What is going to happen? See, this H is going to added over here, this another H is going to added over here, and that's why this triple bond is converted into double bond. And here this H attached to this carbon like this is attached to this carbon like this. And now see, identical atoms or identical group of atoms are on the same side of the double bond. This is one side, this is another side, and that's why this isomer is called cis. There is double bond, so this is our alkene, cis alkene. But if you want this trans product, then we have to use these catalysts. What is that? Sodium in liquid ammonia. And now a very specific addition is going to happen over there, and then there is a different spatial arrangement like this. These two H are to the opposite side. Means what is going to happen here? Here it is plus H2, then one H is going to attach to this carbon in this direction, while this H is going to attach to this carbon in this direction, and that's why this H is here and then this H is here. Are you getting this thing? See, here both are going to attach from the same side, so they are here. But now when you are going to change catalyst, instead of palladite charcoal, if you are going to use sodium in liquid ammonia, then addition takes place like this, and we get such type of product which is nothing but trans, because same atoms are opposite side of the double bond, same group of atoms are opposite side of the double bond. See, this is the symmetrical line, whatever here, just to understand, this is I am showing this line, and now see, these are to the opposite side, these are to the opposite side. So you have to remember catalyst, particularly catalyst, to get the products, addition reaction, and this is a partial reduction. Why we are saying this is the partial? Because we control over here how many molecules of the hydrogen we are going to use. If you are not going to stop that, this double bond is converted further into single bond, and that's why we used word here partial, not complete reduction. If there is a complete reduction, then C triple bond C is converted first to C double bond C, then it is converted to CC single bond, like this, if there is a complete reduction. But this is partial reduction, and we use these two catalysts to get two different products. Yes, now next. Now this thing is the new for us. Okay, in the last topic alkane there is no elimination reaction, but now here it is the elimination reactions. What is elimination? Elimination is nothing but removal of something. Removal of something. Okay, and in our this chapter there is dehydrohalogenation, then dehydration, then dehalogenation. D word is for removal of something. We are going to minus something from that. That is, we are going to eliminate something from the reactant. That's why we use word D. Okay. Now this elimination is called 1,2 elimination or beta elimination. These are the new terms for us. 1,2 elimination reaction or beta elimination reaction. Okay. So now we will see what is 1,2 elimination or the beta elimination. See now the example. This is our alkyl halide. Okay, this is our alkyl halide. See here it is Br as a halogen is attached to the ethane. This is ethane, CC. Okay, so 2 carbons. So this is our corresponding hydrocarbon is ethane, and from that ethane one H is replaced by bromine, and that's why this is our ethyl bromide. This is our ethyl bromide, alkyl halide. Okay, ethyl bromide, alkyl halide. When treated with alcoholic KOH. What is the meaning of this? KOH in presence of alcohol. Like in alcohol, KOH is added and then it is called as alcoholic KOH. If it is aqueous KOH, then KOH dissolve in water and then we can say aqueous KOH. If it is liquid KOH, then the state of KOH is liquid state. Please understand this thing. Alcoholic means KOH dissolve in alcohol. If there is written aqueous KOH, then KOH dissolve in water, and if it is liquid KOH, then that is the state of KOH is the liquid state. Okay. When this is going to boil with this alkyl halide, what is going to happen? There is removal of hydrogen, of this hydrogen and halogen. Halogen may be, the general term of the halogen is X. It may be chlorine, bromine, iodine and so on. We are going to remove means D, hydro, this hydrogen, halogen, this halogen. Okay, if we are going to eliminate this thing, there is formation of double bond like this. This single bond is converted into double bond. Single bond is converted into double bond because we are going to remove these two elements, hydrogen and bromine. It's reacting with KOH. So what is going to happen? This K is going to bind with this bromine, and so there is formation of KBr, and this H is going to attach to this OH, and there is formation of HOH. This is nothing but our water molecule. So these are the two byproducts, potassium bromide and water molecule, and single bond is converted into double bond. So what is this exact reaction? This is nothing but alkyl halides boiled with alcoholic KOH. This is the short form, ALC is the short form, converted into alkenes with elimination of halogen, this halogen and hydrogen and hydrogen. Okay, this is the example where we have taken just two carbons. Okay, but if there are higher alkyl halides, means more than two carbons, higher alkyl halides, okay, that is chlorobutane or chloropentane, like that, then the products are not the single one product, there may possible two products. Okay, and those products are again their yields are different. One is major product, another one is the minor product, and that thing follows Sedgwick's rule. You have to remember what is Sedgwick's rule. Okay, for higher alkyl halides, the reaction is going to take place same, that is dehydrohalogenation. Dehydrohalogenation. Okay, but it is according to Sedgwick's rule. So first of all, we will try to understand Sedgwick's rule. Please remember this thing. What is the Sedgwick's rule? See, this rule suggests that among the two or more alkene products, if there are formed, then in that more substituted product will be the major product. What do you mean by major product? This is the yield of this product is higher. Suppose we are going to think like the yield must be the 100%, then if the 80% is the one of the product, then that will be the major, and the another product, if it is the 20%, then that is the minor. Okay, what do you mean by this more substituted? I explained in the first chapter also. More substituted, that is nothing but the alkene which has greater number of alkyl groups, attached to doubly bonded carbon atoms, C double bond C. If this to C double bond C more alkyl groups are attached, see, in general C double bond C with these 4 hydrogens. Okay, with these 4 hydrogens. Instead of these 4 hydrogens, if this H is replaced by any R group, then it is substituted. Similarly, if this H is replaced by another R group, then it is substituted. Then that means when H is going to replace by the alkyl groups, then that is highly substituted. Okay, so now see the example. See here, this is our 1, 2, 3, 4, the parent hydrocarbon is butane and there is chlorine. So this is our 2-chlorobutane. IUPAC name of this compound is 2-chlorobutane. Okay, now 2-chlorobutane. Now here, what is the beta elimination that we are going to see? Okay, And one more thing is here, that is the 1,2 elimination, means the carbon to which functional group is attached is mentioned as 1, and next to that if there is a hydrogen, then that is the under second position, and from these two positions we are going to eliminate this. So this is 1,2 elimination. And again, when to this carbon any functional group is attached, now here it is bromine, means halogen, then this carbon is mentioned as alpha carbon. This is mentioned as alpha carbon. And next to this alpha carbon, to this side, now this is the next carbon, then this is known as beta carbon. If there is one more carbon, that will be gamma carbon, like this. Now to this side there is no another carbon, so only to this, here it is the beta carbon, and from this beta carbon H is going to eliminate, and so this is beta elimination. This is beta elimination. Now in this example also we are going to see this. See now, this is the carbon to which chlorine is attached, so we mention it as the alpha carbon. Then to next carbon is the beta carbon, and this is the beta hydrogen. Hydrogen attached to carbon is beta hydrogen. Here again one more carbon, and that is again the beta hydrogen. Okay. If you are going to numbering like this, the carbon to which chlorine is attached is 1, then this is the second carbon. Similarly, this will be the second carbon from this carbon. So now you can remove this chlorine and hydrogen, it will be beta elimination or 1,2 elimination. Similarly, you can remove this H and this chlorine, then this is beta elimination as well as 1,2 elimination. Okay. So elimination is always 1,2 elimination or beta elimination. Okay. So now see here, again the same catalyst we are going to use as a KOH alcoholic over here. We are going to add this and going to boil over here. See now what is going to happen. See now here, this is CH3. Okay, this is CH3, so we can write it like this. This is CH3, we can write it like this. Okay, so now here if you are going to eliminate this chlorine and hydrogen, what will be the product? Product will be like this. Here in this case, here this single bond is converted into double bond. This is one CH3, this is another CH3. This CH3 are here. Means what? This one is now highly substituted. Just I explain over here. This H are now there are the R groups, means now this is highly substituted. According to Sedzep rule, this elimination takes place. Okay, and due to following this rule, now this product is major product, that is 80% product, and that's why we are mentioning this is major product. But now if we are going to remove this H, then what will be the product? Now this single bond will be converted into double bond like this, and now to this carbon there are two hydrogens. To this carbon there is one hydrogen and one alkyl group, means this is less substituted than this one, and that's why this product is minor. So whatever the product we get, these are according to this Sedzep's rule. Okay, and see, this alkene is now di-substituted, two alkyl groups, so this is di-substituted, while here only one alkyl group, so this is mono-substituted, and mono-substituted alkene is the minor product, while di-substituted alkene is the major product according to Sedzep rules. What is that? More substituted product will be the major product, or greater number of alkyl groups attached to the doubly bonded carbon atom is the major products, means higher percentage of yield, Now we will see next reaction under elimination only, and that is dehydration of alcohols. Dehydration of alcohols. Again the word D is here, means again what is that? Elimination reaction. Removal of hydra molecule. What is hydra molecule? Hydra is nothing but our water molecule, H2O, from alcohols. What are alcohols? We studied in functional group. When to the alkyl group there is OH attached, then that is our alcohol. So hydroxy is the alcoholic functional group. Hydroxy is the alcoholic functional group which attached to R, it becomes alcohol. Okay. And as I told you, this is also the example of elimination, and that elimination is nothing but beta elimination. Okay. What is going to happen over here? Alcohol on heating with sulfuric acid, and this sulfuric acid is used as a catalyst. In the previous case, KOH reacted with that alkyl halide, but now here sulfuric acid used as a catalyst. What do you mean by the catalyst? You know that very well. Catalyst accelerates the reaction without taking part in the formation of the product, that is our catalyst. So this catalyst converted alcohol into alkenes by elimination of water molecule, means H and OH. They are going to remove H and OH. Okay. Now here one more concept is given in our textbook, and that is again same applied for alkyl halides also in dehydrohalogenation, that there is a ease, very easily dehydration of alcohols takes place when there is tertiary alcohol. Okay, then means tertiary alcohol easily dehydrated than secondary alcohol, and secondary alcohol very easily dehydrated than primary alcohol. This is a representation of tertiary alcohol, secondary alcohol, primary alcohol based upon we studied in the first chapter, that is primary carbon, type of carbons, primary carbon, then secondary, and then tertiary. Okay. So in the primary we represent it by the 1 degree, then secondary we can represent by 2 degree, and tertiary we represent by 3 degree. If it is quaternary, then that is the 4 degree. What is the definition of this primary carbon? Primary carbon means when carbon is attached to one another carbon, then that carbon is known as primary carbon. In case of alcohol, if to this primary carbon OH group is attached, suppose this is C, this is another C here, okay, and to this C if there is a OH attached like this, then this is primary alcohol, because this carbon is primary. So this is our primary alcohol. Similarly, when if there is a secondary carbon, means carbon attached to two more carbons, and to that secondary carbon if there is OH group like this, then that is the secondary alcohol. If there is a tertiary carbon and to that tertiary carbon if the OH is attached, means the alcohol is there, then that is tertiary alcohol. What do you mean by tertiary carbon? When carbon is attached to 3 other carbons, that is tertiary. Okay. So now here, what is the meaning of this? It is written in the words, tertiary alcohol is easily dehydrated than secondary alcohol, and secondary alcohol is easily dehydrated than primary alcohol. So we have to see 3 different examples, and due to ease or very easily, or they are highly reactive, then the concentration sulfuric acid is also differ. Primary is the less reactive alcohol over here, and that's why we need here strong catalyst. Strong catalyst means this sulfuric acid which we are going to use as a catalyst, that should be concentrated, for primary. But if you are going to use a secondary alcohol, then the concentration of sulfuric acid is going to decrease over here, and for tertiary it is very less as compared to secondary concentration. Means here it is concentrated, then here it is diluted than that, and here it is the very dilute sulfuric acid we can use. Are you getting this point? Okay. So for that, this is the explanation why we are going to use different catalyst. Okay, see here, this is a primary alcohol. Primary alcohol, see, this carbon is attached to another one carbon. Here it is no any carbon, here it is hydrogen. So this is our primary carbon. Now to this carbon OH is attached, so we are mentioning this as a alpha carbon, and next to that this carbon is the beta carbon, and to this beta carbon this H is attached and this is going to eliminated. So this is beta elimination, or this is 1,2 elimination. Okay, as it is primary, see now what is the reaction condition. 75% H2SO4 we have to use. This is quite concentrated H2SO4. Similarly, temperature is also very high. Delta, that is the heat we are going to provide, is very high. And now elimination of this H and OH is going to take place, means we are going to remove this HOH, means dehydration. We are going to remove water molecule, HOH, that is the water molecule, means this is our dehydration. And see here now, this single bond is now converted into the double bond. HOH has removed and there is a byproduct H2O. So what is here? See here, this is our butanol. Okay, this is our butanol, that is butane alcohol is converted now into butene, that is but1ene, because on the first carbon, this is the first carbon, second carbon, third carbon, fourth carbon. On the first carbon there is double bond, so we mention here number 1, but1ene. Okay. Now see the secondary alcohol. This carbon is attached to this one carbon, this another carbon, means 2 carbons are attached to this carbon. So this carbon is now our secondary carbon. And to this secondary carbon OH, that is the alcoholic functional group, is attached. So this is our secondary alcohol. Are you getting this? This is our secondary carbon, this carbon OH is attached, so this is our secondary alcohol. Now when there is a functional group attached carbon, that carbon always we mention as alpha carbon. And now next to this carbon is beta, similarly next to this carbon is beta. So to this alpha carbon now there are 2 beta carbons are available. Means to these 2 beta carbons there are 2 hydrogens are available. These 2 hydrogens are available, and so we are going to get 2 products. We are going to get 2 products. Okay. So now in the first case, if you are going to remove this HOH, we are going to remove this HOH from this left hand beta carbon HOH, then we will get this product. This single bond is converted into double bond. Here it is double bond formation. This single bond is converted into double bond over here if you are going to remove this H from this beta. Okay. And then next case, if you are going to remove or eliminate this hydrogen from this beta carbon, then product will be like this. The product will be like this. So here it is at the second carbon, 1, 2, 3, 4, and here it is 1, 2, 3, 4, and the second carbon here it is double bond. So this is but2ene. From this side also this is on the second carbon. Now here from this side we have to numbering, because it is near to this carbon. If you are going to start from here, it will come on the third carbon. So we are not going to numbering from this, we are going to numbering from this end. And so this is our but1ene. Okay. And now according to Set-Zep rule, which will be the major and which will be the minor? the double bond which is highly substituted, it should be major according to Set-Zep rule. So here we are following a Set-Zep rule also, elimination Set-Zep rule. Okay, and that's why this is our major product. While now here this double bond is not highly substituted as respect to this. Why? Because to this carbon here are two hydrogens, while here to this carbon this one alkyl group and this hydrogen, here also one hydrogen and one alkyl group. But here it is not that situation. Here it is only one alkyl group, then hydrogen, and to this carbon there are two hydrogens like this, two hydrogens like this. So this is less substituted double bond. This is highly substituted double bond. So according to Set-Zep rule, elimination will give you the major product when the double bond is highly substituted. So but2 product is the major product, while but1 is the minor product. And see now, for here we have to use 75% concentrated H2SO4, while it is 60% less than this. Similarly, we can reduce temperature. So at lower temperature we will get these two products, as secondary alcohol is more reactive than this primary alcohol. Then here tertiary alcohol example. See, this is our carbon to which this OH group is attached. So this is alpha carbon. Now here it is one alkyl group, that is methyl group. This is another methyl group, and this is the third methyl group over here. So now 1, 2, 3 carbons are attached to this carbon, means three another carbons are attached to this C. So this is tertiary carbon. OH is attached, so this is alpha carbon. So next to this carbon is beta carbon, next to this carbon is beta carbon, next to this is the beta carbon. So there are 3 beta carbons, there are 3 beta carbons, and that's why from anywhere if you are going to remove H and OH, you will get such type of product, H3C CH3CH2, that is 2-methyl prop-1-ene, and byproduct is H2O. But important is now here, see, just by using 20% H2SO4 and temperature again less than this, we will get this product, that is 2-methyl prop-1-ene. So here it is very easily tertiary alcohol converted into alkene as compared to secondary alcohol. See the conditions, and as compared to primary alcohol, see the difference in the catalyst conditions. Okay, so this is for dehydration of alcohols. Now one more method of formation or the preparation of alkene is dehalogenation of vicinal dihalides. Vicinal dihalides. Now see, dihalide means two halogens. Two halogens. Removal of two halogen atoms from adjacent carbon atoms is called dehalogenation. Now adjacent carbon atoms means, see, this is C, this is C. Okay. So these two are adjacent to each other. Okay. Now suppose one more C is there, then these two are adjacent to each other, or otherwise these two are adjacent to each other. Means when they are in the vicinity of each other, like this, next to, adjacent to, or next to, means they are vicinity, in the vicinity of each other, then they call vicinal dihalides. What is here? The dihalides of alkane in which two halogen atoms are attached to adjacent carbon atoms, means in the vicinity of each other, they are called vicinal dihalides. They are called vicinal dihalides. See here the example. These two carbons are here, and to both the carbon there is one halogen atom, that is X is attached. Both are in the vicinity of each other, this carbon. So this is our vicinal dihalide, and for this reactant, we have to use zinc metal. Zinc metal is going to react with these two halogen atoms and it is going to remove from here. These two halogens are removed from here like this, and this single bond is converted into double bond. This single bond is converted into double bond and byproduct is ZnX2. For example, this is our 1,2 dibromopropane, 1 2 3, so this is propane. Okay, so we have to numbering here 1 2 3 like this. That's why this is 1,2 dibromopropane reacting with zinc metal converted into propene. When we are going to remove these two Br, and that is going to attach to this zinc metal, formation of zinc bromide, then this single bond is converted into double bond, because we are going to remove this. To satisfy the valency, there should be formation of double bond, means single bond is converted into double bond and we get propene. This is all for the preparation methods of alkene. In the next lecture we are going to see the properties. Thank you.